Hi, I'm... What the... It's a very breezy, blustery day today. Now, on Tuesday I woke up to the sound of what I thought was a giant swarm of bees outside. But when I looked outside, no it wasn't. It was a tiny swarm of giant ants climbing up the big oak tree. It's taken them about 3 days to dismantle the entire tree, and it's been fascinating watching them lower the bits by rope and clambering up and down and all over, and the sound of buzzing going on all the time. Here's the last tall bit that they chopped down. Enjoy.
Got that one anyway.
So what's left after all that? That's it. That's all that's left. No more antler jokes. To be serious for a minute though, I'm quite glad it's gone, because it does mean that the garden will get a little bit of extra sunshine first thing in the morning, and my neighbours are going to be extremely happy, mainly because they'll get a lot of sun in their conservatory in the morning. So it's not such a bad thing that it's gone. Now then, what should we talk about now? I know, let's talk about what's been going on in my greenhouse. This lower staging of my greenhouse is looking a little bare. I'm not talking about Paddington or poo, I'm talking bare as in empty. And the reason for that is no more Lobelia, no more phlox, no more salvia. They've all gone. I'll show you where I've put them in a minute, but there are one or two things in the greenhouse I do want to show you. I've potted up my chilies into much larger pots, and they've already started a spurt of growth thanks to that. These are my everlasting sweet peas that I planted a little while ago. 8 of them have popped up, so I've put them into bigger pots. These are my climbing beans. One of them has popped up and another one is about to sprout. And my tomatoes are looking really healthy. Which reminds me, I need to water them. Now that the first trusses are appearing on the tomato plants, I'm putting a little bit of tomato food in with the water, just to give them added nutrients. One thing I found quite enlightening is the amount of water that seeps through the grow bag. This is the first year that I've put my grow bags into trays, and I'm really glad I have done, mainly because I can see when the water level is low enough that I need to water the tomatoes some more, but also because I know I'm not wasting any water by watering the greenhouse floor. Now then, sorry? The frost. Oh, right. Yes, the frost. Well, it was a bit of a non-event, really. They were forecasting round about -2, -3 or lower for here. So I put the thermometer outside, discovered that it got down to 5 degrees. No frost at all. However, my mother, who's 40 miles east, said she was scraping the frost off her car windscreen at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's very localised, that frost, and thankfully it didn't come here. As for all that effort, well, if I hadn't put all that stuff in place, you can guarantee we'd have had a really hard frost here. Now, about my stocks, Lobelia, Salvia and Cineraria. Where are they now? Well, they are now populating this central bed. In the middle of the phlox, because they're the tallest, then the stocks, then the Salvia, then the Cineraria and finally the Lobelia. Oh, and there's a few hundred slug pellets too. Sad. Gone. No, not really. So, hopefully I'm going to have a really colourful display in that bed later this year. We'll watch and see how it develops. Stuff has been happening over here too. I've planted out all my leeks, together with dozens of slug pellets. And I've put my bean poles in place too. I was a bit bored this week. But this ready now for my bean plants when they pop up. And this year I've decided to cover them with a bit of netting. Mainly because I'm hoping to have more bean plants than I've got poles, and they need something to climb up. And this is stuff that I found in my shed. I never throw anything away. I think it was on Titli's fruit cage #1. And over here I re-sowed some fresh spinach seed. So we'll see how that goes. No, I haven't taken you into Soft Fruit City for a while, have I? Come on, let's go and have a look. The raspberries are doing well and there are signs of buds forming. I've got baby gooseberries. The tayberries are in flower, as are the strawberries. I will have strawberries this year. And the blueberries have finished flowering and now they're forming the fruit. In fact, things are looking pretty spiffy in Soft Fruit City. If you're wondering what that new noise is, it's my mother who's decided that she wants to mow the lawn. Notice that I say wants to mow the lawn. It's not me, I don't have slave labour here. She comes here for a rest and then complains there's nothing for her to do. Weed! Weed! It took me an entire afternoon to weed this part of the garden. But the hosta I moved is doing well, and you can see my cyclamen again. There is one last thing I want to show you before we go, and that's round the front garden. Those azaleas I planted earlier this year have come into flower. They're absolutely lovely, fabulous colours. Well, that's all I've got time for this week. Next week I'll be thinning out my parsnips and I'll be thinning out my beetroot, and hopefully I'll have some spinach to show you. Thanks for watching, and do join me next time in Titli's busy garden.